gentlemen, welcome to Backyard Business, but I'm in a crazy, wonderful backyard, and that is the backyard of Jim and Rob Brooks, who did this amazing job with our Phantoms at the PPL Center, and I cannot tell you how excited I am with three guys that I have so much respect for. For those who don't know, I reffed hockey for a lot of years. They say I did 3,000 games, but maybe 2,500. But anyway, but it was wonderful, and it's great to have you, and as usual, good guys. One thing I want to say, and I'll start with you, Garrett. So what people don't realize, if you're a hockey parent, I always tell when people tell me when I was reffing, my son wants to get into hockey, I say, why don't you buy him a baseball glove? Because number one, it's a lot of money and a lot of time. And I'm sure you spend a lot of time with your family going from place to place.
Yeah, I feel like every year our equipment gets more and more expensive. I know when I was young, growing up, my parents, they didn't make too much money, but they had enough. They were selling stuff to make sure I was able to play. And yeah, the early morning practices, 6 o'clock in the morning, going to a freezing cold rink. You gotta be different to be doing that for your kid. And so yeah, it was a lot growing up, but the hockey parents, they deserve a lot of credit because it's all because of them.
Yeah, I see you shaking your head, Brandon. So he said it all. Parents doing what they have to do to make it happen.
Yeah, absolutely. I think as Garrett was talking there, I remember. My older brother played hockey. I'm the middle child, and I would go and I'd get my older brother's gear, and then I would pass my gear on to my little brother who would play. So it's an expensive sport, and shout out to all the parents that have sacrificed. It's to make it happen. But I just remember like those memories of passing my gear down to my little brother, and allowing him to get going in hockey. And so pretty expensive sport and stuff. So thankful to be able to put on a sweater each and every day.
Yeah, I just want to mention the obvious when people say, and I'll get to you in a second, when people say, did you ref? And I always say I have the stitches and the missing teeth to prove it. But anyway, you all are in pretty good shape, huh? From that perspective.
Yeah. Yeah, I missed one at the bottom here, but
yeah, I got the obvious one there. Yeah.
I'm missing two, but I'm not saying what. But I remember I went to the score table and I'm like, is that? Yeah, it's gone. So anyway, so the goalie, I always love hanging with the goalies, and they have unique personalities. I guess I wanted to ask you, that is important for people to know. When you're in a game, there is a lot of pressure on the goalie, and do you feel that pressure? And I'm sure you do. And how do you process it?
Yeah. It's, there's not a large margin of error. But I think that's the thing that I love about playing goalie is you have to be relied upon, and you have to be there for your teammates. And, I feel like I kind of thrive with that, sort of responsibility, but, there's definitely times, maybe when you don't feel like it's your best game going on, that you feel a little bit of extra pressure that, your team's, playing hard for you, and you need to do the same for them. But, it's a fun spot to be in. And, it's kind of like a drug. You're sometimes the hero, and then sometimes you're the loser in all of it. So.
But, when he says that, as well as I, you love your goalie, because when they have a bad night, it happens. You're all human. You're there for that goalie.
Yeah, they stand on their head and bail you out a lot of the time. So if they're having a tough night, it's they're working hard. It's not like they're not trying to, but for the most part, this guy saves their butts. So it's been good.
Yeah, Brendan. So if you're in this universe, you have to, or any of you, you're going to move around a little bit and get to a new community. First of all, would you agree that this facility is absolutely amazing? I mean, what else are you going to say? But it is absolutely amazing.
Yeah. We have like we've talked about it. I think the best in the league, and we can look over there at Jim and Rob. That they spoil us, and we're very thankful for that, and we don't take that for granted. And so having those facilities and having just these things to make it so we're at our best each and every day, it's great. And super thankful for that.
So Garrett, I know you're the fighter, quote. I mean, you've had how many penalty minutes?
This year I got about 115 or so.
Two things to that, because when I reffed, that's all they did was fight, basically, and you could afford, each team had one or two, what people may not realize, each team had one or two guys that were there for that reason only. It's unusual for a captain, so that's a pretty cool mix. And, well, anyway, I'll talk about that.
Yeah, I've been doing it for a while there now, coming from junior. I was still kind of the tail end of the old school kind of mentality. It's kind of been changing a little bit the last few years, but I knew to stick around in professional hockey, I had to do something more than just score. So that's when I kind of took on being a guy that will fight and be physical for your teammates, stick up for your teammates. And it's a big part of the game. I don't think it'll ever leave hockey because it's kind of a way that players can kind of police the game, keep everyone honest out there. So it's fun. I love doing it for my teammates. The fans all love it. So it's been a lot of fun.
Do you ever have, though, I mean, first of all, sometimes you know that it's coming, right? You know, from having a previous hit or whatever. But do you have some times where you know who you're going to fight is going to be pretty formidable?
Yeah, no, there's still about one guy at least on every team usually that you got to kind of be aware of, and you know he's going to be in the lineup and that. So there's some nights pregame nap, you're not really getting much sleep. You're thinking about that,
Yeah,
but and there's still a few
Why don't you
guys.
let Cal fight? What the hell?
He would. He's great.
He's got a lot of padding.
Yeah.
Did you ever, by the way, every once in a while, probably not, every once in a while you see two goalies. I think those days are over, right?
Yeah, I think it. You see one probably every once in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. Luckily, I got some guys that have my back, so I don't have to take it. But I've always said before my career ends, I want to get in a little bit of scuffle or anything like that. But it's a little bit more of a show than a very good boxing match because we got all that gear on, so there's not a lot of punches that get landed. But it'd be fun to do a little dance out there.
Yeah, talk to me about conditioning of the game today. I mean, you really have to. I guess what I want to ask for people, do you're watching what you eat? Are you how in tune are you with what you want your body to feel?
Yeah, it's an everyday job. It's 24 hours a day, 365. You're taking care of your body. It starts before the season. We're getting getting in shape. We're training every day on the ice every day. Like you said, hydrating, eating the right things, just making sure our body's ready to go because we play a lot of games in a season. We have 72, so you got to make sure you're good to go each and every day. You got to be able to take care of yourself.
Yeah, Cal, I would assume in that, I would always kills me about goalies. You see them on TV or whatever, you're like, that guy must be like 300 pounds, Then you see him and you're like, wait, they're not, So I would assume in that equipment, you're hustling a game, you can drop some pounds in one game, I would think.
Yeah. I mean, there's some games I'll lose up to probably 10 pounds.
Really?
Yeah, just, you're wearing a lot of, we were talking about the other day of how much we think it's kind of all weighs, and, I thought maybe 40 or 50 pounds. So it doesn't really feel like that, but so I mean, conditioning's huge, obviously. That's kind of something that I'm always working on in the summer. And, I don't maybe have to be as strong as these two because I'm not, playing the body or anything like that, but more so just the cardio flexibility sort of thing. It's just a little bit of a different animal that you have to prepare for.
Haven't you guys been up to the NHL, the big league?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I've heard that, as good as this is, and we all see how good this hockey is. I mean, AHL hockey today is unreal, but I heard it's even faster when you get up to the NHL.
Yeah. It's such a different game up in the NHL. It is faster, but for a weird way, you feel like you have more time there just because guys are all more controlled. It's less chaotic. Everyone's in their position a little bit better. So it is way faster, and guys are making way more skilled plays. But down here, it feels like you have less time down here than up there.
Yeah. So, but the skill set. Well, I want to ask you this question: when you went up,
I was with the Florida Panthers for a bit and the Pittsburgh Penguins.
What is it like? All right, so you were the Penguins. So you get in a locker room and there's Sidney Crosby. He's had to be, whether you like the team or not, he's one of the greatest ever. Like, do you stay out of their way, or do you hang? I mean, are they good to you? Or
Yeah. Crosby, he's like, everyone's heard stories. He's one of the best guys around. I remember I just got called up to the team, and he's wanting to hang out, have dinner with you, and that. Like he makes you feel comfortable right away. And that's what makes him such a good leader. But it's cool just every day going in and just seeing how they operate around the room and just see how they are with other guys. It's a lot of just watching and taking a lot of it.
Yeah, but so you don't, I wouldn't, I think you're sort of chill. You don't go there acting like some kind of tough guy or whatever.
Yeah, no, you stay in your lane.
So Brandon, how about how you feeling about your career? I mean, you hanging with this, or? Well, you got the owners here, so you have to say.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I guess the question is, are you making enough money? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. This career is something that not just, the average person doesn't get to do this. And it's something that I'm grateful for. And it's a lifestyle that, like I said, I don't think many people really get to experience. And it's usually, I think the number is like less than 1% of, hockey players growing up get to play at the pro level. And so, just super thankful. It's an opportunity that, you just try to take advantage of, and you show up each and every day working working your hardest to just keep climbing the ladder.
So people understand. So Cal, did you know anything about Allentown, the Lehigh Valley? And when you get here, all of you, do you have families that host you, or do you have how does that all? Of course, you guys are making a little different money today, rightfully so, than they were in the beginning of the HL, where you're riding around a bus and whatever. So how about that? How that adjustment to a new city or new town?
Yeah, so I played the beginning of my career. I was in LA on the West Coast. So,
oh wow!
Yeah, so I didn't know much about this area, but yeah, I was pleasantly surprised when I got here. I live over in Bethlehem and have really liked that area, and yeah, I think it's a great spot to live. A lot of history, and then obviously, being able to come to this rink every day. It's basically the same as the NHL. So I think we're very fortunate in that regard to have kind of a tight-knit community that all, loves the Phantoms. And that's something that I've been, it's been really surprising too, is how much everybody cares in the community.
Yeah, Garrett, maybe not too big here, but not too small. So you can sort of make a life for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. No. So like a lot of us, we all just will come live here for the season. We'll rent places and that. And then once the season's over, we all kind of go back to where we're from. Yeah. So I go back to Canada, I have a house there and that for the summer, and then come back here in September and do it all again. But this community is great. I've been here for 5 years here now, and I love it. So
yeah, we're glad to have you. What happened to your nose?
Much time, man. A lot of fights, a few punches to the nose, a few shoulders to the nose, but it's taking a beating, but I love it. Yeah.
People don't realize that when you, I was saying one time when I did a game, nothing like you guys, but I got a cut and up in 6 stitches, and people, did you go to the hospital? I said, well, I finished 2 games. Then I went to the hospital. But your coach, Lappy, I'll never forget watching the Flyers game, and he gets a slap shot, and I think seven, I always tell him 7. Whatever I tell him, he tells me it's 4 more or whatever. But people don't realize, look, hockey players are tough, but do you think part of it, Brendan, is the adrenaline? Because you're moving, people, those shifts, you're moving out, your adrenaline is so high. Do you think that's why they just keep rolling and finish the game?
Yeah. I think hockey has that instilled toughness in you, and that you gotta have a set there, to be able to, be out there and know that you got to show up and compete every night. And that adrenaline really takes over, and knowing that, you can take a puck to the face or a stick to the face, and you're going to finish your shift, and you're going to do it for your teammates and the guys next to you. So really just, there's that kind of that instilled toughness that we've kind of grown up with throughout hockey. And it really, being next to like Willie, especially, you see like a guy like him, he's able to play through so many different things. And you look up to that, and you kind of really see that toughness at this level, especially.
Yeah. You feel that?
Yeah, the body feels good right now, but I'm kind of scared in 20, 30 years.
Yeah, you're going to pay for it. I hate to tell you. What's it like being captain? Pressure? Or I think you probably like it, but I can just tell you're a captain type. So.
Yeah, no, I like it. I don't put more pressure on myself being the captain. My first couple years here, I was just the assistant, and then our captain moved on, and they gave me the C. So I didn't try to change the way I came to the rink every day. I kind of always try to be a good teammate my whole career. And now I'm the old guy, so that's why they give you the C.
Yeah. Cal, did you ever, so pucks flying at you, what people don't understand is, first of all, they're kept in ice, so they're really hard. And so you got them coming at you. I don't know, what does anybody know? You probably might know. What is it? 80 miles an hour? I don't know. That's come crazy. 100 miles an hour.
Technology sticks nowadays.
Yeah, but you've got a lot of stuff, but did you ever, wrong place, wrong time, and catch something, throw?
Yeah. I've broken my collarbone a couple times from
a shot?
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, you get stingers every couple practices or so. We're definitely a lot more protected now than goalies were back in the day, but the shots are coming hard. So you still get a few ones that a couple bruises that stick around a little bit, but I would say nowadays you don't really have like the fear factor anymore of getting seriously injured, and so it's not too bad.
When you think you see the old films, they had nothing. Well, some didn't have a mask. Sometimes they didn't have a mask of going, which is totally insane. Of course, the puck was a lot slower. I think about the slowness of the game. I'm so glad. I used to like a fast game. There were 2 things that you would never think that they would have, but you had a 2-line pass. So you couldn't pass the puck 2 lines, which is slow. And the other one that would kill me, you came out of the penalty box, you used to have to touch up. And then come back. So you had to touch up in your zone and then go out, which was totally insane and only slowed down the game. I want to talk about officials. I'm sure you have officials that it's not going to be it's going to be a challenge. I mean, yeah, and maybe overcall. You see that? I'm sure.
Yeah, for sure. So the last 2 years I've led the league in penalty minutes both years. So a few of the refs I'm not the greatest friends with.
Yeah.
So they you see some of them that start the game. You're seeing, oh, we got this guy tonight. You're kind of like, gotta try to keep it tight there tonight. But yeah, there's some refs that are really good, and then there's some that are young, just trying to make a name for themselves, trying to get to the new level. So that's frustrating at times when they're making bad calls and that sometimes. But yeah, for the most part, you're gonna try to stay off them. They're trying their best, you think. So I definitely get on them a little bit too much, though.
Yeah. And Cal, what people don't realize, that crease, you're there, and that crease can get pretty insane. In fact, it used to be when I reffed, you couldn't get near the crease. It was so protective. Now people come there with full force. I mean, that's got to be challenging sometimes. And you guys are there to protect them if you feel like someone's taking advantage of the situation?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Well, yeah.
We're keeping them away.
Yeah, you don't touch the goalie.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys are still crashing that.
Yeah. I mean, I just came back from an injury from a guy running into me in the crease. So yeah, goalies definitely got.
Did you feel it was accidental, or did you feel like it was taking a mini run?
I mean, I don't think I don't feel like it was malicious. I think he just came together with one of our guys and crashed into me. But I kind of. The thing with the goalies is, I'm obviously paying attention to the puck and what's going on, so you don't really have a chance to defend yourself. It's a little bit like a quarterback in that regard. So, that's why you have to rely on the refs sometimes to help you out and keep you safe. But sometimes you end up on the right side of it, and sometimes it's the wrong. Yeah.
And so back to the last question on the officiating again. Would your preference fast game? You like it called tight, or you like to let them play kind of thing? It used to be, by the way, the other thing they don't do anymore. The third period, they put the whistle in the pocket. They used to say you had to basically take out a weapon before you could get a penalty.
Yeah, I personally like a looser game. I like when they're not really calling a lot of penalties. I think the flow of the game's better. You're able to be more engaged in the game and allows you to stay in it. So yeah, when you have a lot of whistles and penalties and stuff, you got different guys going out, penalty kill and power play and stuff like that. So some guys play more and some guys play less. So preferably for me, my game, I like it when, there's a smooth game. I would say most of the guys would probably say that as well. But so when the officials put the whistles in their pocket, I like that.
I used to love when I get a guy like you. I used to say, so let's say if they had the first penalty, that was on the way to the box, I'd say, look, you could be gone, but I got you. So I try to build a relationship, let them know, because you can go into a rink, if you feel like there's a target on your back, that can affect your game.
Yeah, no, for sure. And there's definitely some refs that when I see them, you kind of got the respect for them right away because they kind of do treat you a little bit better that way. So it's definitely the new ones. I feel like when they don't really give you the respect right away, when I've been here playing longer than they've been reffing. So it's like, if they give me the respect, I'm giving them the respect for sure. So
the last thing I want to touch on again is we talked about this place is absolutely amazing. And we're thankful that you're comfortable here in the Lehigh Valley. But when the crowd's really rocking, I'll ask you this, Cal, when it's packed like it always is here, that's gotta, conversely, I'm sure you go to some rinks that, number one, don't look anything like this, and number two, don't have the crowd capacity that they have here.
Yeah, I mean, just the consistency that we get, night in and night out is great. But you can definitely feel that extra energy when it's Friday or Saturday night, and you come out and you're coming out for warm-ups an hour before the game, and the seats are already filled. And again, it just goes back to how much this community cares about their sports, and especially us with the Phantoms. And, it's nice when we're playing Wilkes-Barre or Hershey or some of these rival teams that we have, and some of their fans come, and it really just makes for such an awesome atmosphere. And it's definitely one of the best that I've ever played.
Yeah, well, I do want to say this, and that is that there are a lot of different owners, but I know they're here, but I'm not stretching it. There's two nicest. You can't find two nicer guys than Rob and Jim Brooks. They're great people, great for the community, and great to you guys. And I got to say, I love being around you. I have so much respect for what you do, and you're all so cool. And why can't I be you? For God's sake? I just have a TV show on radio and all that. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm bragging. Anyway, all right. Hey, thanks for being with us. Amazing place, amazing people. The Phantoms, PPL Center. Thanks for being Backyard Business. We'll see you next time.